Welcome to the Human Being Unleashed podcast, where we redefine, realign, and reimagine what it means to be human so that you can live a life with the health, wealth, and relationships that are inherently yours. Yo, what's going on? I hope you're having yourself a great day. Welcome back to another episode. Last week, I made a promise that we're going to be breaking down how you can eliminate social anxiety without therapy, without medication, without coaching, and really just use some very simple mental exercises that are really... Guys, I want you to know you have a strong psychic ability to really change your behavior, you change your environment. And I'm about to share with you a couple of ways to do that, specifically if you have social anxiety. But before we get into that, I thought this would be really funny. Last week, I started the episode and I shared a fun fact about me. And the fun fact was I used to rap. And one of my friends, whenever he heard the last episode, he was like, Adrian, how about you throw in a little rap on your next episode? And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna rap live, but I'm gonna play a little brief few seconds from one of my songs so you guys can get an idea. So hold on, give me 1 second. It's gonna be hilarious. Really quick, the language is a bit vulgar, so but hold on, still fun to share. And the audio, it's a bit quiet, so you're gonna have to turn up your radio a little bit.
Just in case you forgot my name, bitch, I'm coming back. And I ain't going away. Said I'm taking over. Bitch, you best move over. I'm that 4-leaf clover. I'm that lucky loner. I can feel my grandma. That must mean I'm closer. I don't know what I'm saying, but just let me flow, bruh. I said let me go up. I said let me go nuts. I said let me show up, cause it's been a glow up. I said it's been a blow up. When I pull up, I ain't playing around. I already said that shit once, but I say that shit twice.
And there you go, once upon a time. And okay, anyways, now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and now you guys can probably see why I did not carry on a rap career. All right, now let's go ahead and dive into a few very specific ways you can eliminate social anxiety for good. And if you are a rapper and you want to get on stages and start rapping, guess what? If you have social anxiety, I'm going to show you how to get rid of it. I could have used this back then. Anyways, let's go ahead. Number 1 is exposure through visualization. So exposure therapy is like the act of exposing yourself to the fear that you're dealing with the hopes of overcoming that fear due to the experience of proving the belief wrong, right? It's like feeling like, you're going to die if you go be social, and then you go be social and you don't die. And you're like, oh, look, it's wrong, right? It's a way to retrain your neural pathways to respond differently to a situation or learn a new behavior through actual experience. But the brain has a better learning capacity when you're not under pressure. The problem with actually putting yourself out there in the physical world and like forcing yourself to do something, exposing yourself to it, is you find yourself under pressure. And believe it or not, it's very difficult for you to learn a new behavior under pressure. You can really engage, you can express a new behavior you've learned way better under pressure, but learning, like the learning capacity, is a lot smarter when you are under pressure. So again, the brain has a much better learning capacity when you're not under pressure. The more calm you are, the more better you can learn a new response. Therefore, instead of throwing yourself out there in the real world in like physical situations, which is also really good to do, you can just imagine yourself doing it, and it takes away all of the pressure. Just visualizing yourself being more confident and responding how you want to respond can be more effective than actually going out there, because you won't be under any kind of pressure, right? You won't be any kind of pressure that you may experience in a real situation. You'll be able to respond more easily when it comes to being under pressure, because your brain would have already learned how to respond by merely visualizing itself doing it over and over again. right? I got really confident with networking. One of the big ways was closing my eyes and visualizing myself networking every single day in my mind, shaking hands, talking to people, hearing them out, all of that stuff. You see, whenever you're in a state of, well, really, let me show you how to do this, because I want you to like get this like the most effective way to visualize and not just like regular visualizing. I'm talking about like theta level visualizing. Get into theta brainwaves. This is really important because when you're in theta brainwaves, then what happens is the door in between your conscious and unconscious really swings wide open, which allows you to rewire your subconscious a lot easier. Your behavior response is a lot easier. So one of the things that I'm going to share with you is to, well, let's do this. I'm trying to make this easier for you. Okay, so there's a couple. So in order to get into theta, it's very simple. Just look up and then keep your eyeballs up and then close your eyelids down so you start to have a fluttering sensation. And then you can just imagine yourself going down to a bottom of staircase, you can imagine yourself walking down a flight of stairs, saying each step that you're getting deeper and deeper and deeper. You'll find yourself within time feeling extremely deep and your eyes are going to feel very heavy, like they can't even open. That, my friends, is a really good sign. But if you want me to like just make this as easy as I can for you, go to www.rewiremythoughts.com / hold on, let me make sure it's the right one because I have a lot of course, / this / that. Okay, www.com. www.rewiremythoughts.com / visualize, and you'll actually get the guided process that I take my clients to get them into theta brainwaves. You'll be able to like go through a guided version and learn how to do it all on your own. Okay. But what you want to do is you want to visualize when you're in theta brainwaves, you want to visualize a screen in front of you, like a big, large screen, but not one that's big enough to take up your entire vision, just like a movie, like a projector screen. And then you want to recall a past positive experience, one that made you feel confident and good about yourself. You want to make that as real as you can. You want to stir up that positive emotion from that experience, focus on it. And this is really important because what happens is when you focus on that, you're going to feel that emotion come up, and then you're going to be able to carry that emotion over to the act of engaging in some social event. Right? You're using the confidence from other areas and you're applying it to where it's needed. So that's where step 3 comes in. When you feel really confident, when the confidence really sets in, change the image from the past event to a future desired event on the screen. For example, if you have social anxiety when you're networking, imagine yourself in a conference room full of entrepreneurs. Act as if you were always confident. How would you stand? How would you talk? How would you walk? Where would your posture be? How would you move around the room? What would you be saying? Would you be starting the conversations? Right? Well, how would that look? Get fully involved with this picture. Really immerse all of your physical senses into it. Turn on your nervous system. Get all into it. And then you want to step into that screen. Become the visualization. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel the hands that you shake. Hear the voices of others. Feel your vocal cords vibrate as you talk. See the body language and facial expressions of the faces on other people. Get every sense stimulated if you can. Make it as real as possible. Play this entire event out for 15 to 30 minutes or until you feel complete. But again, I really encourage you to make this scene as real as possible. Now, step 4, though, is you want to visualize the completion of the event. Now, this is important, okay? You want to give your mind a picture of what the event would look like if it was completed, which allows your mind to move forward towards that a lot easier. So ask yourself, what would you be doing after the event that validated the fact that it was a success? What would you be doing? Who would you be with? What would you be saying? What would you be celebrating? Describe in detail what would be happening for you to know that you successfully networked with confidence in this example we're using. Get clear on what the after effect of the event is, okay? And then you want to spend some time observing that so you feel like it's already been done. Your brain is convinced that it's done, okay? And it's gonna allow you to respond a lot more easier. And step 5 is you want to step out of that mental screen that you were visualizing and then watch the event from the third person view for a minute or two. And then you can just start counting backwards. You can say on the count of 5 back down to 1, I would be more energized and feel better than ever. And then start counting backwards and boom. Okay. Now, if you're doing this before bed, I recommend skip the counting, drift off to sleep while you are visualizing. All All right. 2 is conscious autosuggestion. The next way to overcome social anxiety is to utilize conscious autosuggestion to literally hypnotize yourself to believing that you are extremely confident and a great communicator. Hypnosis, I've covered this before, it's nothing more than an absorbed state of attention on a single idea to the exclusion of other data. For example, if you believe that there's something wrong with you, then you will train yourself to find evidence for this belief, and you will effectively block out data that says otherwise. Social anxiety is a form of a trance, and another way to remove the problem is by changing your trance altogether. So you can do this in as little as 10 minutes a day through the proper use of autosuggestion. So here's how it's done. Number 1 is enter theta state trance. Remember, guys, theta state, eyeballs up, eyelids down, your eyes will flutter, put your head down, imagine yourself walking down 10 steps. You will find yourself in theta. Again, just www.rewiremythoughts.com/visualize if you want the actual guided process. Step 2, once you're in theta, recall a past event that made you feel really confident. Again, stir up that positive emotion of confidence. When you're feeling confident, you're going to be able to mix that feeling in with the suggestion, just like you were mixing it in with the new picture. Neural pathways can only be rewired through repetition and experience. So it's important that while you use autosuggestion or affirmations, that you create an emotional experience to make it stick. All right? This is a very effective way to do that, is by bringing up an old picture. 3 is begin repeating your power suggestion. I recommend only one single suggestion, a power suggestion that really does what you want it to do. Now, your power suggestion is the brand new belief that you wish to program into your mind. This one is typically the opposite of the limiting one. For example, if you believe something is wrong with you and that's what's causing the social anxiety, you can say, I am loved and I am worthy. All right? It's a great power suggestion. And if this belief that you wanted to if this was the belief that you wanted to program, start by repeating that suggestion over and over again while you're feeling confident from the prior step. Now, to enhance your focus, picture each word light up in your mind as you say the statement. That means as you say the statement, picture each word pop up in your mind. This will give you a visual to stack on the audible, keeping you way more focused. Repeat the suggestion for about 5 to 10 minutes and do not go any longer. I do not recommend going any longer. For sometimes, when you go longer, you can reinforce the fact that there is something to be changed. And that convinces you even further that, there's something wrong, right? People who know they're good enough don't spend all day saying they're good enough, okay? You want to assume that you're confident. Therefore, keeping the idea that keeping the idea that says otherwise is really, really important. Now, after you do this exercise, forget the fact that you did it and just assume that the statement is true and act out on it with childlike, playful attitude. Like my nephew, when he was like 5 years old and he was a ninja for Halloween, to everybody else, he was Vinny, a little 5-year-old kid. But to him, he was a real ninja. His name was not Vinny. His name was Ninja, and he turned into a ninja that day. That level of assumption is very important. Step 3. Oh, not step 3, I'm sorry. But that's the second thing. That's the second exercise you can do. The third exercise you can do. We're going to go a little bit over 15 minutes this time, guys. All good anyways. The third exercise you can do is inner child expression. As you can see from the story I shared earlier about my client who got the social anxiety, and now this story I shared on the last week's episode. So go back to last week's episode and you'll see the story I shared with the client. You'll see that we pick up social anxiety due to beliefs that we pick up at young ages. Now, one of the most interesting ways I've helped clients release fears is by revisiting the memory that created the belief and having them reimagine the event going a different way. Okay, so what you can do is you can give your inner child a new perspective by, like, for example, one of my clients, he got yelled at by his dad so his dad left the room and left his phone on, and then the little kid, my client, as a little kid, picked up the phone and started talking into it. The dad comes out of the room, gets really mad, tells the little boy to put the phone down, takes the phone away, and in the little boy's mind, he feels like he is stupid and like he's a burden. And what I had him do while he was in a trance was I said, "Hey man, imagine your dad actually didn't care. Imagine your dad sat there and encouraged this behavior. Imagine your dad sat there and told you to be more childish and had encouraged you talking on the phone and let you talk gibberish. Imagine that happen instead." It allows your brain to perceive a new experience, which will rewire your perspective on that experience. You can rewire memories to change your current reality, because now is your point of power. So, for example, now that with that example, step 1 is get into a theta state. Step 2 is, if you know a clear memory in which you picked up a limiting belief, reimagine that event happening all over again. This time, give yourself a different outcome. What did you want to happen? Right? Imagine this happening in a way that leads to a new belief and a new emotional response. You can do this over and over and over again until it really sticks. This is a very simple but powerful way. It's a wonderful way to release long-held limiting perspectives in a way that creates a completely different emotional response. Now, if you do not know any event, if you're like, well, I don't know what past event made me this way. No event made you this way, guys, okay? But anyways, if you cannot pinpoint an event, no worries. Just go to the next exercise, which is, instead of, once you're in theta, just reimagine the home that you grew up in and between the ages of 2 and 8. If you lived in multiple homes, just reimagine any of those homes at that time. Walk into the house, find the bedroom door, open the door, and imagine your young self in that room. Then imagine and using their voice, and then imagine them. You can really just imagine them using their voice and expressing themselves in ways they always wanted to but never got a chance to. You can imagine them using their voice, being themselves. This will allow them to release whatever belief that is creating the suppression of energy that's creating the anxiety. You can let it express itself through imagination, which you have a much better ability to express your feelings when you're imagining. You can express yourself through imagination way more than you can do practically. So this alone can release stored up energy that's causing the anxiety, and it can be sufficient enough to release limited perspectives in the beliefs that created the social anxiety. Okay. Again, another super simple yet very profound exercise, really, that anybody can do. Okay. I recommend you do this one for about 15-20 minutes a day, 20 minutes a night, before bed. Okay. And give it 21 days straight. All of these, give them 21 days straight without judgment, okay? In conclusion, guys, social anxiety is a learned emotional response that can be successfully unlearned. The root cause of all social anxiety is a core belief, and these beliefs create emotional responses of anxiety. And now you know what you can start doing today to eliminate this fear for good. Now, if you want to accelerate your results, and you want to fast track your confidence, then you're going to want to sign up for our brand new workshop we are running on June 30th at 3 p.m. Eastern. We are literally going to take you through exactly what I shared with you today. We are going to do this together. I am going to reverse engineer your social anxiety, take it all the way back. You're going to find the root of it, your personal root cause of your social anxiety or your performance anxiety. You're going to find it in minutes rather than in weeks, months, or years with other forms of traditional therapies and coaching and all of that. And we are going to show you how to release it so you can install a brand new belief that's going to allow you to walk into any room with all the confidence you need to start any conversation with anybody and know that you belong, and you're going to be able to have enough conviction in yourself to make the powerful, pivotal decisions that are going to allow you to grow yourself and your business and your impact to where you want it to be. So go ahead, check the show notes out below for that sign up link. Sign up, and we will see you on June 30th. We cannot wait to see you become way more confident and be able to live the life that is already yours, right? So see you guys next week.